when Wednesday I start banging. Yes, sir. No stopping from then.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the official announcement from Andrew Jacked that the prep for this upcoming Arnold, which is happening in March next year, that has officially started at 13 weeks out of the show. Now we know that he committed to this show before the Olympia as well. But there are always some very important factors to look at before starting another prep. And one of the most important one is that where the blood markers are at. And the fact that Andrew has been in prep all the way from Texas Pro Prep to the Olympia this year, and just after 8 weeks of staying off everything, going through a detox phase post Olympia this year, here he is, starting another grueling prep. So he must be gifted in a sense that he stays relatively healthy even after long preps. So Andrew did lose some ground after not showing up as impressive as the bodybuilding world was expecting from him at this past Miss Olympia, especially after what we saw at Texas Pro this year. But let's just not forget, he's always so fresh at the beginning of the year. And we have seen it in the past. His track record shows us that he looks absolutely brilliant and at his all-time best in all of the shows except for the Olympia. So the battle that we were all so anticipated to witness at this year's Miss Olympia was between him and now the winning Olympia champion, Samson Dauda. But unfortunately, we did not see that happen. But I have a feeling now that we are gonna get to see that at this upcoming Arnold. Because the thing is, if Andrew is on, it is gonna come down to the wire. Because that is the look for him to beat. And just let the cards fall where they may. Now it is pretty clear that Andrew isn't closing on that gap between him and Samson in the side shots. But he is gonna be so close, both from the front as well as from the back. Rubiel Mosquera aka Nexilla releases some more off-season physique updates. So nobody has built out on more shows in a single year than Rubiel did this year, which just barely impacted his reputation. And I'm gonna say rightfully so. And the irony is that not even a single explanation was given to his fans and to the bodybuilding community why that happened, why he chose to sit out of so many shows, especially at Prague this year. So the version of Rubiel that we saw at Prague last year, where he made his pro debut, that was his best to date. So conditioning wise, he looked really impressive at that show, and everyone was talking about him so much as the next big thing. Now I clearly remember Nick Walker stating that Rubiel is gonna smoke Krizo, but that is far from the truth, because Michael Krizo gets into that crazy sort of condition. And although Rubiel has that impressive size, he has that unbelievable freak factor. But he lacks the quality, he lacks the density, and he lacks the conditioning. So does he look any different in all of these recent off-season updates compared to the off-season that he had earlier during the year? Well, I'm gonna say not very much. Now Rubiel has the biggest legs in bodybuilding. There is no doubt. He has massive arms, incredible chest. But the thing is, he needs more delts. He needs more rounder shoulders, the more round and cap delts, so that he can create more of an illusion of having that V-taper, of making his waist appear smaller. Now let's just hope that he stays committed to this upcoming New York Pro 2025, because that show is gonna have a great lineup, no doubt. Next up, we have an update from Romania Pro champion, Rafael Brandao. So this is gonna be the very first time where Rafael has qualified for the Olympia so early during the season. And the fact is, he does not intend to compete in any show in the entire 2025 other than the Olympia. Now he did qualify early once before, back in 2021, when he won the same show Romania Pro, but he did the Arnold Brazil next year. So basically he did not utilize the entire year in order to get bigger, to grow, to put on more muscle. And it isn't a secret for any of us or his team that in order for Brandao to get into that first Olympia call-out, he needs more size, he needs more muscle. And throughout his years of competing, his competitive bodybuilding, we have realized one thing, that Rafael isn't like Samson Dauda or Nick Walker or all these other guys who can put on plenty of muscle in between shows from one show to the next one. The best progress in terms of the size that we saw on Rafael's physique, that was seen this year when he did the Arnold Ohio after taking more than 1 year off. Another thing that you guys might have also noticed is that he cannot compete more often. His body just isn't designed to do that. Because from the Arnold Classic to Romania Pro, he did not particularly get any better. I still believe his best was Ohio, where he placed third, an undisputed placing behind Hadi Choopan and Samson Dauda. Because there were so many questions after this year's Romania Pro, where people made a solid argument that Akeem Williams should have won this show, although I do not agree with that. Now Rafael has been competing as a pro since 2017, and this year he placed his career's best, 8th at the Olympia. A little disappointing because his team was expecting and he himself to be in the top 5. So what are your expectations from Rafael Brandao after he takes another year to grow, and can he crack top 6 at the Olympia next year? Next up we have an off-season physique update of Stuart Southerland, aka Beef Stew, who is gonna be gearing up soon to start his prep for this next season. Other than his look and placing at the New York Pro, Stu kind of had a rough year because his physique also kinda got worse as he dieted longer, and part of the reason might be that he was just so ready so early for New York Pro, and he looked really great and he placed a respectable top 4 at that show, and that was a very competitive New York Pro lineup with Nick Walker, Martin Fitzwater, and Antonio Burton. Now Stu was very inconsistent with his look throughout this year, especially for the next show, because he was supposed to be the man to push Antonio Burton in Cali Pro, and he dropped down to 4th. And his last show, Run Pro, that was the one where he came in totally off, and he decided to shut the season down even before that show. Now he looks very thick in his recent off-season update, and he himself admits that this hasn't been a very productive off-season, especially so far, but considering that he's probably gonna compete sometime in summer, he has time to make some progress. But as I said earlier in a few of my videos, it is gonna be extremely hard to qualify for the Olympia next year because there are so many big names who are gonna do multiple shows next year to get more in terms of the prize money, and so many guys who are making a comeback. Next up we have an update from Michal the Bull. Now we know he had problems with his stomach during some of the preps he did prior to the Olympia this year. So Michal did 2 shows before the Olympia this year, and that just goes to show you that Michal is just so good that he can win shows even at 90%. So what we did not know is that he was also dealing with an injury during his Olympia prep, but still he managed to get into the first Olympia call out and also got top 7.
Of course, bro. I'm doing a lot of shows. I'm doing the Arnold UK, and I'm doing Pittsburgh, New York, Dubai Pro, and hopefully as well Detroit Pro. So a lot of shows this year.
So there isn't anyone from the Olympia first call out or even in the top 10 who has committed to doing more shows than Michal in 2025. And the first couple of shows for Michal the Bull, they are gonna be the Arnold Ohio and the Arnold UK. So can he be top 3 at the Olympia next year? Well, I'm gonna say we don't know.
Well, in 2024, this year, after the injury, I didn't expect to be in the first call out, and I made it to the top 7 in the Olympia. And I honestly didn't expect that. I was so scared and so unconfident. But in 2025, I'm saying it right now, I have never been as confident as I am right now. And I know, and I'm sure people will know what I'm talking about at the Arnold in 3 months from now.
We do, however, know that he's gonna be adding a few more pro wins to his resume this year and get closer to Terence Ruffin in terms of the most number of pro wins in Fossil Physique. So there are some physiques in this category who are a lot more aesthetic, more eye-pleasing than Michal the Bull, but his conditioning always puts him over these guys on the show day, especially at the Olympia. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.